I'm Angie Ellington, and welcome to Southern Sass Chats. My guest today is an actor, a musician, and has a fan base that has dubbed themselves as Brownies. Please welcome Wes Brown.
The brownies. I love that. Who doesn't love a good brownie?
I love it. I discovered that when Autumn at Apple Hill came out. I saw all these hashtags for brownies.
You know what? I think you and I might have found out about it around the same time. Around the same time. Super sweet. I love it.
Yeah. You have a huge fan base. I also have seen like West Wednesdays or something like that. That's another thing on Instagram.
Again, super fun, super sweet. I love everyone who's made all of that possible and a thing. And it's so much fun.
Yeah. I can imagine that it can be a little bit of a blessing and a curse sometimes to have the popularity, but I know you're so grateful for your fans.
The I couldn't call it. I totally get what you're saying, a blessing and a curse, but it's definitely the curse is non-existent. I when people come and walk up and say hi, I wonder what a day without that would be like. And by the way, I know what many years is like without that. So I'm just so very grateful for all the fans, everyone who comes up and says hello. So it's a blessing 100%.
I love that because that shows that you're humble and grounded about it. And that's one of the reasons why you have the fan base that you do.
Well, and if we're all being extremely truthful, which we are, none of this would exist without the fan base, and not just me, but me, my colleagues, this network that we're working with right now. It's only possible because of the fan base.
That's true. Very true.
Yeah.
We're gonna hop in with a few questions. So, for example, you have, let's see, two movies coming up this year that we know of for Hallmark: Haul Out the Halloween
Yes.
and Newport Christmas,
Yes.
or A Newport Christmas. Tell us a little bit about your filming experiences for both of those and what we can look forward to.
Oh man. Well, obviously, two are extremely different. One's a third installment of Hall at the Holly. It's Halloween, and the other is a time travel Christmas movie with a Broadway singer. So they couldn't be. The only thing they have in common is they're both on Hallmark and they both have to do with the holidays, and that's where it ends. The first one we shot with lovely Jenna Claire Mason. It's called a Newport Christmas, but we shot 98% of it in Buffalo, New York, which is a lovely experience. We got to shoot out on oh God, Lake Ontario? It's Lake Ontario. Yeah, yeah. On lovely Lake Ontario and in Buffalo. And that was just a beautiful experience in itself. Great friend of mine was a director, producers. Like, I mean, it sounds, I don't mean for it to sound cheesy, but like when Hallmark dubs itself as, a family network, that transitions into the filmmaking. Like, these are my friends who are director, my friends are the producers, my co-star, my friends. Like it's truly a family network from top to bottom. Um, I text with all my, like, I'm kind of going off now, but I was texting with Andrew Walker all day yesterday. I have a text thread with Ben Ayers and Paul Campbell. So it's like it's all really real and it's really sweet and beautiful. And I'll gear my ship back into your question. Um, it was great because the first one was it was anytime we can add different elements to filmmaking, especially with the filmmakers, like with our director and producers, and we add this magical time travel element where there's going to be a not a ton, but some really pretty CGI with the time travel moments. It just makes filmmaking a little more fun and magical, like shooting on big green screens and stuff in a studio in Buffalo. Like those are really cool moments. They're all cool moments, but those are super, super special. And then we move on to one of the most fun Hallmark movies I've ever made, which is Haul Out the Halloween. Not certain I've ever laughed this much on set in my life. It's you take the coolest thing is that we all know each other so well. So to do this again for the third time, it was just like a big giant family reunion party. We know each other really well, what we're gonna do. We can foresee jokes coming, new jokes come out of it. I haven't seen the cut. I've been told it is by far the funniest of the three. And just like my own, the only reason my heart hurts is I know so much of what we shot will have to be cut out because these movies are only 86 minutes long. So it just the fact that we had to cut anything out is it's just it's a tragedy. I wish Hall at the Halloween could be 7 hours long, but it's not going to be.
I know. I think Hallmark needs to have like extended cut versions of every movie for their DVDs and for Hallmark Plus. That would be, one, it's an incentive
Gosh,
for Hallmark Plus for people who want to subscribe there,
sure. Hmm.
but also for the DVDs, because for me, like I know I don't really watch my DVDs anymore, but I still want to own like Apple Hill is coming out in September. I'm
Yeah,
definitely going to own that. I want to have that physical media because with the changing landscape, you never know what may happen.
you
So
never
I think
know.
it's important to have that. But yeah, I think we need extended cuts of all of the movies that can include some of these things that were cut out.
And it would be so long. It would
I
be
know.
so,
Yeah.
so
Maybe
and
pick a few
the
moments.
problem is you would have to cut the extended version down. It's kind of like you don't really want to cut any of it, but I was there. I got to it's going to be a huge part of my memory forever. So it was we can't have it all on DVD, but we can have some of it.
Can have some of it. That's right. That's
Yeah.
important. So, speaking of your many acting experiences, you didn't originally go to college for film and theater. How
No.
did you segue into acting?
That's a great question. No, I actually didn't know what I wanted to do. I had a few ideas. I was playing in a band, in a rock band, kind of a harder rock band.
Oh, cool.
And I was really enjoying just doing something creative. And we were not making a lot of money, but we were making some. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. And I guess I'll make a long story a little bit shorter. As I was taking just general courses at LSU, Louisiana State, and that kind of segued into theater classes. And at the time, I had done a couple print jobs in Texas and Miami, and so I was kind of getting introduced to the entertainment world very, very mildly. Just playing in small venues and doing some of these print jobs and super, super like local commercials. And I don't know, I kind of wanted to explore it more. So we had talked about actually something that was horrible is I think no band, if there are bands anymore, who knows? No band should ever move to Los Angeles. That was something that we realized that was the kiss of death. Um, but we had talked about moving to LA to take this one step further. I was taking a lot of acting classes. I booked a not big at all, but I booked I think it was a LeAnn Rimes music video, and theater was I was enjoying the theater process. And so I talked to my parents and I said, I really want to look into acting. And for whatever reason, they were super supportive. No reason to be, but they were just very supportive. So between my junior and senior year of college, I moved to Los Angeles for those, what was it, 2.5, 3 months. Got an agent and a manager. I'm still with that manager to this day.
Wow.
Um, I was on a scholarship at LSU. I could not miss a semester. Those were kind of some of the bullet points of this scholarship. And so I just told her, I said, I got 2 more semesters. Are we good? And she goes, we are great. And so as I was graduating, she sent me an audition for Glory Road, which was shooting in New Orleans. Got the role of Pat Riley. That role kept me in Louisiana for a few weeks past our band moved. So they actually moved without me. And so
So
when
they
I
went to
got
LA and you were back
so
in
yeah, they went to LA.
Louisiana.
I stayed there for a little bit, and then when I did finally move to Los Angeles, like not I don't know how, it was just a handful of weeks, maybe a couple months. I'm not really sure. I booked a series called Beach Girls with Rob Lowe and oh man, Julia Ormond. It's such a cool cast.
Oh, wow.
But
Yeah, big
anyway,
names.
that sent me to Canada for the first time. Anyway, I was experiencing a teeny tiny bit of success, but my band was like, "Hey man,
What about us?
what about us?" And I'm like, "That's a very, very fair question." And it was one of those unfortunate situations where I kind of had to choose, and the way things are going, I ended up replacing myself with a gentleman that I'm still friends with to this day. And so the band went on to play for I think 2 more years, and then like most bands do, unfortunately, a lot of them moved back. One stayed in LA. He's still there, and that was kind of it. So that was my transition. The Cliff's Notes version.
Look, I'm very long-winded. So, you talk all that you want to about it because there's nothing you're saying that people aren't going to be very interested in here. Um,
Well, the one thing I always like to leave out is I can look anyone in the eye and with my heart of hearts 100% tell anyone as I was in it for the craft. Um, Never did it for any fame, fandom. I literally I was enjoying theater so much. I was enjoying playing music. Yes, of course, I knew that that could come with it, but I didn't know what SAG scale meant. I didn't really know what musicians made. I didn't really know what actors made. I just know it's something that I enjoyed doing. And I ended up learning all that throughout the years.
yeah,
But I was completely oblivious to it. I think when I booked my first job, I had like $800
yeah,
total. And so I was just kind of, ignorance is bliss, thank God. I was just kind of and just kind of doing my thing with my head down. And it thank goodness it worked out. Still, knock on wood, still kind of working out. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And it's not a career for the faint of heart. There's highs and lows.
No, it's not. It's not. I think there's a statistic, and again, past the pandemic, I think things have changed. No, I know things have changed drastically, but at one point there was a statistic of people moving to LA to pursue their dreams. Well, the stat of people leaving was higher because it's like, man, it's not easy. Actually, you know what? There was a funny thing because it's kind of a vague question. How do you know when to leave, when to keep grinding, blah blah blah. George Clooney finally gave an answer, and his answer was 10 years. 10 years. And I actually went back from when I did my first job, and then I went and marked like 2005 to 2015, and I'm like, oh, 10, that's pretty accurate. Because even after 10 years, I had done some cool stuff, but I had had some dips. I had had some better years of it. But after 10, then it kind of started to pave a new way. And I was like, oh my gosh, I know it's different for everyone.
Yeah,
But I'm like, oh wow, the 10-year mark, that's okay. I can see that.
yeah,
Yeah, I can totally see that.
yeah. Um, you know, I grew up acting locally, doing a lot of theater, and actually had a scholarship for drama.
Lovely.
And when I would do things, but like I've worked on set doing like stand in and background and stuff, but I never really pursued getting an agent because I live in North Carolina. It was, do I want to move? Do I want to move alone at that age and everything? But my goal then was more about, it was never about being like a Cameron Diaz type of actress. It was about like maybe working on a soap opera, having like
Mhm.
a steady work, that type of thing, because I enjoyed it so much. I enjoy being on
Sure.
set and being in theater and the local projects. It's just really, it's exciting and it's fun to have people, come up to you after a performance and tell you, how well you did and how much they enjoyed, listening to you and watching you perform and bring the characters to life. So,
Yeah.
some people think, oh, well, if everyone is in, the entertainment industry for money, no, they're not. And a lot of them will tell you probably it's not the money you think anyway. So, we're in it because we love it. Or we just don't feel like there's anything else that we're really good at to do.
In it too far to do anything else now. But no, maybe it was just being hard headed, but just the tougher someone said it was going to be, the more it made me wanted to do it because I just thought to myself, it was the more people are just going to give up,
Yeah.
and that's fine. So whether it be acting, sports, anything like that, I'm like anything worth doing is going to be difficult. There's going to be competition, and that's fine. I think there's room out there for. I tell my agents, and I was like, I don't need all the roles, man. I need
Yeah.
one.
That's right.
We need one at a time.
Yeah.
That's it. So
Yeah.
that's it.
That's amazing. So, I know that you have a daughter who is in high school now.
Yes.
Does she have any interest in theater or music or any of that? Zero.
Zero. None. She wants to be a physician.
Awesome.
Reading is her jam. I'm sitting here looking at your book case right now. Not 2 days ago for her birthday, she asked me to build her a little like 3 by 3 bookcase, and I was looking at her wall, and she has this big blank wall where her TV is, and so I was like, how about I just woodworking is a little hobby that I love to do. I've been doing it for years. And I said, what if I built a bookcase and kind of framed your TV? And my bookcase looks extremely similar to what you have behind you right there. It's white. It's got cool little cubbies and stuff like that. And so her birthday this year is going to be it's all it's all spelled out. It's literally a book tour throughout New York City,
Oh,
hitting
wow.
different like old school bookshops, some vintage bookshops. The Strand, which has something like
Yeah, the Strand.
was like 18,000 miles of books or some insane number like that. And she just wants to fill up her bookshelves. So she's a reader. She doesn't have. I mean, she loves watching TVs and movies, but as far as entering that as a career, I do not think that is her jam, which is absolutely fine.
Well, you have a copy of Autumn in Apple Hill,
Of course, I
so
do.
you can let Maribeth read that.
It will be going on her bookshelf if it's not already there. I have not seen everything she's put on there, but I know it's
It's
probably going.
clean. It's
Oh, of course,
it's
of course,
clean, so she could read it. um,
of course.
and take going from that, I'm going to lean into Autumn and Apple Hill for a few minutes because I couldn't have you on here and not talk about that movie.
Yeah,
Um, First, I was supposed to be notified in time to fly up and watch filming of the movie, and that didn't happen. And I found out that Rachel Linden, whose book was also being adapted at the same time, The Magic of Lemon Drop Pie, was
yeah.
filming at the same time. And she flew up. And then I was really jealous because I'm like, well, why was I not notified in time? I want to go.
And
So apparently there were some things behind the scenes where like the production company was going through some changes and like Hallmark bought it and just who was in charge of what kind of got a little bit murky there. So I
sure.
think that's kind of what happened. But I asked like, well, who are the leads? And I'm like, I want it to be good leads, but I don't want it to be any that like are like my favorites. And then I didn't get to go. And then Paul Diddy, who wrote the script, told me, oh, it's Aaron Cahill and Wes Brown. And I'm like, and I don't get to go. I'm like, no. I'm like, I love both of them. And
uh,
I was so disappointed. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, I'm going to reach out to them. And I did. And both
I'm
of you
happy
were
you did.
lovely with reaching back out and, have been ever since. So I know you had apparently played the character of Luke a few times and had just come off of a movie portraying Luke in Inheritance when you
Yeah.
went.
Yes.
So maybe, in another life, you need to be if you're reincarnated, you'll come back as someone named Luke.
I have a cat named Luke too.
I love it.
Doesn't end.
I love it. I love
Doesn't end.
it. I love it.
I say I have a cat. They have a cat named Luke. So
Oh, I have cats too and a dog. And my dog is outside because she would be barking so loud it would you wouldn't be able to hear anything I'm saying.
oh,
So when you were portraying that character, you played him very much the way that I had written his personality in the book, but they completely changed the character because Luke was actually the one who opened a bistro. So instead of being the investor, like the silent partner, he
mhm.
was the one who came to Landover to actually open a bistro.
Right.
And
Mhm.
he ends up helping Elise. It's set in Maine, which would have been amazing to film it in Maine.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, if the budget had been there for what the book actually included, it would have been amazing. It
Oh
was
man.
amazing, but you guys would have taken a tour to a lighthouse and had
Oh,
the lobster bake and the fun
ah,
stuff.
stop it.
No, it sounded so great. But the cozy vibes were there. The inn was very much how I imagined it to be. So I loved all of that. And the
Well,
banter was great. So what was it like working on that set?
you know what? If I may, I was going to ask you, kind of turning around on you, is that what gave you the inspiration to write it? Like, where did the idea first pop up? I've always wanted to ask you that. Like,
Yeah.
because I will say this, I'm gonna transition for 2 seconds, and then I'm gonna come back because I want to hear your answer.
We have similar personalities because we both will jump back and forth.
Yeah, well,
I love it.
the reason I want to know is because I had an uncle. So you're right. I am. I'm like ADHD. Woo.
Oh, I'm a major
Because
deviator.
there are two careers within the entertainment industry that I really admire. One are stand-up comics, and two are authors. It seems like an extraordinarily daunting task, one, to get up for 60 minutes, 90 minutes and make people laugh. Like, no, thank you.
No, thank you.
And the second is
I'm not
to
that funny.
stare at a white screen and know I have 300 to 400 pages to go.
Yeah.
Wow. Like, okay. So my uncle, he just finished his first novel.
I saw that.
Yeah, and so I'm sitting here before I read a word of it, and it's like, man, I'm really proud of you. You, whether it's good or not, and it is good, you typed the end, and that is something that I think so many people would love to do, but how scary is that to think, all right, I gotta get up and make these people laugh for 60 minutes, or I'm gonna sit down in front of a white screen and 350 page later, I'm going to type the end. So I always ask, like, how was that for you? When did the first idea pop up, and when did you type your first word, and how did that work? If you don't mind my asking.
My goodness, I'm flattered that you'd even ask. That's amazing. So first of all, Autumn and Apple Hill was my second book,
Hmm.
and one, I've never been to Maine, but I want to go to Maine. So
It's
I
it's
was
beautiful. It's one of the best places I've ever been.
I'm sure. So that's why, I was doing all of my Pinterest viewing and everything of all the lighthouses and whatnot. And whenever I go and do like a book signing, or I've been asked to do a few events over the past year because, of the movie. And all of a sudden, everyone wants to, talk to me in the area. So the first thing they say is, every book that you write, your settings are characters themselves. And I feel like you must have spent time in each of the places that you write about. And I'm like, actually, some of them, yes, most of them, no.
Yeah.
They're places that I want to go or that I just know what it would be like. Like a
Yeah.
part of Georgia is based Spring and Lilac Glen. I made up this little town in Georgia, and someone left a review and said they had just moved to this little small town of Cartersville that I just kind of found on a map one day. And they're like, "Oh, I just moved here," and she described it so beautifully. And I'm like, "I've never actually been there." But that means that it resonated. What I
Sure.
was going for worked. And I basically took where I live here in the small town, growing up on like a farm and all of that, and
Yeah.
just put it in Georgia. Um, so yeah, I got the idea Honestly, when I started writing, it was from watching Hallmark movies. I was watching Hallmark Christmas movies back in 2016, and I had been watching for a few years. And I'm like, I could write these. I should have pursued acting and I would be in these, but I can write now and I can at least write these. And maybe one day in Dream World, I'll get one of these turned into a movie. And I just
Bam.
kept at it. And I've written several. And yeah, there's still stuff being pitched. So, it's
Right.
really exciting. I'm hoping for more. I will tell you, my books are not typically as long as some of the others. Mine typically are like 250 pages, maybe
Okay.
150 to two. I write a little bit shorter stories,
Okay.
and most are seasonal or holiday themed. So, very much the time frame when I started writing, Hallmark was really big on the seasonal stories.
Yeah.
And I want them to bring some of those back because I think the
Mhm.
fans really enjoy, just like the fall movie. Like, do you know we had one of the like top 10? I'm going to include myself in this top 10 movies from last year. Like, the ratings were really high. It was like a 1.7 million live view for cable
I
for
love it.
Apple Hill.
I love
So
it. I
people
love it.
love the fall movies. And yeah, so yeah, it's been fun. My ideas for characters come from all kinds of places. And I just sit down and I come up with a cover and a title first. And then there are two types of writers, there's a plotter and a pantser. You can probably figure out what that means. The fly by
Okay.
the seat of your pants. I'm
Yep.
more of that one. I am just my creative, ideas just hit and then I write. And then I might not write again for like a week. And then something hits me again and I start writing again. But yeah, Hallmark is what actually watching Hallmark got me interested in writing. So yeah,
That's great.
kind of a full circle thing to get a movie then, right?
That's great. That's great. And now you're in. You're
Yeah,
in. Welcome.
I'm in. I'm in. Like you said, when you wrote in my book, welcome to the Hallmark family. That was really sweet, and I appreciate that. You and Aaron have been so lovely, both of you, so lovely.
I appreciate that.
And working with her, what was that like?
I have no, so we have, Aaron and I have an ongoing joke. I think the first time someone asked me that, I said, "Oh, I've known," and this was a while ago. I was like, "I've known Aaron for 15 years." And she's like, "No, you haven't. You've known him for like seven." And this was a long time ago. That just made me want to push it further and further. So now I'm like, I've known Aaron for 47 years. So
Older than both of you
I've
are.
known Aaron for 102 years. Uh,
Yeah.
Now I think Aaron and I we did a movie together back in like it was like it was a it was a movie for sci-fi called like Weather Wars in like 2005 or 2006 or 2006.
I
It
think
was
I
one of
remember you guys
it was
talking
one of
about
those
this.
mid 2000s, and that was it. That was it. I've known her since then, so it's one of those deals. One thing I find that Hallmark does is super cool is they have it set up to where it's kind of like a 1950s, 60s old school Hollywood style of putting movies together where they would announce like your leading male and your leading female and they would put them together and then create a film around that like a Humphrey Bogart and so it's kind of like that. So it's like when you get a call about the film, it's fun to find out what it's about, the title, and then, at least in my experiences, the female has been cast first. And so it's just fun to get that call about what is it, where does it shoot, who's it with.
Yeah.
And so when they said Aaron Cahill, I'm like, this is going to be a fun one. This is
Yeah.
going to be a lot of fun. And then even though this one was a couple years ago now, I'm loving that Hallmark is seemingly leaning more into the fall movies. And then like the one I have coming out, Halloween, because years and years ago I would pitch these Halloween ideas to them, and this is a couple CEOs ago. It was always a no.
Yeah.
Halloween was there was many reasons. I think one of the biggest reasons is that they started their Christmas films in October.
Yeah.
Um, and they didn't kind of want to overlap. Well, I was just always thinking, I'm like, but it's Halloween.
Yeah.
Halloween's a season, and I was
And
like so
you're a big fan of Halloween. I
big,
heard you guys talking about that last year.
big fan of Halloween. I literally have a huge pumpkin patch that I planted back in June. That's like coming to life. Not just Halloween, but like it's the bird months are my favorite. September to
Mine too.
December, absolute favorite months. I'm actually the more the years go on, the more I'm actually not enjoying summer as much. I'm just kind of like, all right, come on, come on, come
I'm
on.
over
Now,
it.
I say that, and I will absolutely not be the first one to gripe about the cold. But that being said, it's kind of like I'm just happy that they're leaning into these because there's so many stories to tell. Like you, the seasons are always a character. We have, I just feel like, and I'm not saying this because you are on this Zoom, but Aaron and I would show up to set, and I mean, like the set decorators. I was like, when did you guys get here? Like, there were apple trees with apples individually twist tied, and there were just thousands of them. Because we were shooting at a time where apples wouldn't be
Right.
growing. We did shoot this movie in Winnipeg. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not certain how many apple orchards are in there. But I'm like, they just made this movie look so good and so festive. So it was like you asked, like, I think like 2 hours ago, you asked how to get into a character. One of the things is when you show up on that set, you almost don't have any other. You just you're there. Like you
Yeah.
get you see these words on the page like fall decor, blah blah. They walk amongst an apple orchard or whatever maybe, and then you see it, and then you put on the clothes, and then you're actually walking through this beautiful apple orchard. I'm like, it's not hard to find the words, to find the moments when our team of filmmakers can make these sets look so good and take your words on a page and bring them to life.
Yeah. I saw like I was getting behind the scenes pictures from Sarah Luby, who
Yeah,
played Nora. I
yeah,
had
she's
Sarah
wonderful.
on here last a week or two ago when I first started this, and I had Derek Kuhn who played. He was the villain. He was the
Yeah,
ex-husband. I keep wanting to say Gabe because Gabe was his name in my book, but
right.
Trent. So and they're both so lovely. I connected with a lot of the supporting cast through Instagram. And they were sending me some pictures from behind the scenes. So I made a book. Anything any of you were posting, I was screenshotting like a
Oh, fun.
stalker to try so I can make myself a book of as much detail as I could about the
Oh,
movie.
amazing.
So I mean, you even posted about flying to Winnipeg, something like "nice to see you, old friend" or something. It was like a picture of the clouds, but I knew you were heading to film the movie. I had to put it in the book.
Oh, that's
So like all
awesome.
these things were going in the book. I'm like, if they were getting notified of me screenshotting all of this, they would think I was crazy. But I'm like, I really do have a normal reason for doing it.
Well,
But
it's your baby, and if I had written a book and it was going to be turned into a movie, especially on a beloved network like Hallmark, I would be doing the same exact thing.
yeah. So anyway, and they were on here talking about how lovely the sets were too. And I saw this truck that had Apple Hill Orchards or something on it. And
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, I wish they had included that in the movie. I'm sure it was a scene that got cut, but it was there. I'm sure there was a little bit of, like focus on that or something. That would have been nice. But the ice cream shop, you guys are going into Bramer's and you're talking about pumpkin ice cream. I thought it was really sweet and fun. And oh, and
was
the
not
trash can.
was
Tell us
not
about
ice
the
cream.
trash can.
Was not ice cream.
Oh, yeah. Tell us. Yeah. Tell us what it is because most people may not know this.
It was mashed potatoes. And no, 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 not the good mashed potatoes. Not the mashed potatoes at Thanksgiving. The mashed potatoes that need to be not silky smooth and buttery. No, 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 no. They need to be dry and can stand up to because it was actually a little warm in Winnipeg. Believe it or not, Winnipeg does get warm. We had some warm days, so it can't melt and it's got to stand up and it
Yuck.
But here's a fun thing. If you, and it's something that I always kind of clock when I watch movies, is that if anyone decides to take a bite of something, you've committed to that bite because they're going to shoot things different angles, wide, close-ups, anything. So if you take a bite, you will take that bite 20 or 30 times.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
if you decide to swallow or chew, well, make sure lunch isn't coming on because you might get full off of ice cream, mashed potatoes. So careful your movie choices.
Yeah. And when you went to throw, I saw the first trailer clip because they showed a couple different ones, and you went to toss the cup with the mashed potatoes in it, and it missed the trash can. And I'm like, and you kept going. I'm like, that he didn't do that on purpose. That was an accident. He missed the trash can, right? And then
I think it's funnier if you miss though.
yeah, I was like, he missed the trash can and he just kept going. I'm like, I love it. Even the
There you
trash
go.
can didn't want it. Something like
Yeah. You gotta commit. You gotta commit.
gotta commit. I love that. So moving on into like your musical career, do you plan to release another album or some music at some point? I think there's something you have in the works with Jenna Claire.
Yeah. So, Jenna Claire, I'm trying to think of when she maybe first asked me, but it's one of those deals where you meet another actor, another musician, and you're like, hey, we should do something together.
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Well, Jenna Claire kind of was, she's one day, it was a while ago, she's like, we should do a song together. Look, I'm me, but she is this wonderful 7-year veteran from Wicked on Broadway, voice of an angel, understands singing and voice structure and everything just so well. I was just thinking, I was like, well, if that ever happened, good for me, because like I would definitely be in the passenger seat, getting to learn from this. And she finally, we had begun to shoot our movie in Buffalo, and she sent me a song, and she's like, "Hey, I think I found a good one for you and I." And I was doing a workout in our hotel in Buffalo, and I quit everything I was doing, and I was because the song blew me away. It
Oh,
was
wow.
so good. It was jazzy. It was old school. It had that Rat Pack sound to it, and it was like just up my alley. So I was like, I called her immediately. I was like, "Are you serious with me?" And she's like, "Yes." I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna need you to sign something because you can't ask anyone else to do this song because I love it so much." She really didn't, but I was that obsessed with the song. Um, so the coolest thing is that we shot about 30 to 40 minutes away from set, not every night, but almost every night. And so that 40-minute drive from Buffalo, sorry, from Lake, where we were shooting in Lake Ontario back to our hotel in Buffalo, I was getting 40-minute voice lessons with Jenna Claire, and it was just
Wow.
so cool. And I learned so much from her. It's a lot of information. I just never knew that vocal performance could be this in depth. But like I said, she understands it so well. So huge learning experience for me. And then we got done with the movie. We worked on the song. We kind of just tuned it in the way we thought that it would sound really good. We sped some stuff up, we slowed some stuff down, and then it was time to record it. So she went to Nashville to visit some family. I flew to Nashville, and we spent about 2 or 3 days, recorded the song. I am so happy with the way it turned out. I think November 7th. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's something like November 7th. It's early November. It'll be released. Yeah, I'm thrilled I got to do a song of that quality with a singer of that quality. So I was just very in awe of
Yeah.
the whole shebang.
Are they going to use it to promote the movie?
So our movie, no,
Yeah, different.
it was kind of written for the movie, but even after it came out, as good as the song is, um, it doesn't really it's got a different vibe
Yeah,
in our movie. I think it's going to be for something. It might be. I think it'd be great for like advertisements
yeah.
for something like that. Like it's when you hear it, it's God, it's so catchy,
Can't
uh,
wait.
and they did such a great job with it. So I think it'll be a part of something. But the cool thing is it's done. If it doesn't get placed in anything this year, it's got forever to do something, and hopefully, if we promote it the right way, it'll get some legs. I'm trying to get. I don't care about saying this because I believe in manifesting stuff.
Yeah,
So I'm trying to
put it
put it
out
out
there.
there where we can make. I've kind of pitched her and I doing it in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And it's just Macy's would have to sign off on it if that's something that Hallmark would be cool with. We'll see. They had Dan and Shay on last year.
Yeah,
Maybe we could do it this year. So it's a pitch that's out there. I'll manifest it. We'll see if it happens or
we're putting
not.
it out there.
But
Brownies will make it happen. You guys.
yeah, man, let's go Macy's. And tag Hallmark in it. That's the cool thing too, is that Hallmark listens. They listen to their consumers. It's all about building a brand and like their ears are open. So when fans are like, "Hey, do this, do that," I'm like, "Don't tell me, tell them." They listen. They hear stuff and they do not turn a blind eye to it. So I'm like, man, if enough people got it going,
That's right.
it
Speak
can be a
it.
thing. That's where we're gonna try to release it early, try to get it to the network sooner. So I'm just super happy with the way it turned out. Can't wait for
Yeah.
everyone to hear it.
Well, I know everyone will be looking forward to hearing that. That's amazing. And the movie sounds so good. Kind of like another Biltmore type of time travel scenario.
It's gonna have a similar feel. We shot at some. That's one thing I didn't realize about Buffalo is they have like this almost like this Gilded Age section. I didn't personally, I didn't realize how deep a history Buffalo has into just the city itself. So it's got some absolute gorgeous homes from the early 1900s that very much mimic what's in Newport.
Oh,
So,
wow.
I mean, we're shooting in places where when you look on a screen, you're like, we are 100% in Newport, Rhode Island in 1901. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing on this screen that doesn't scream Newport, Rhode Island, 1901. And then
Wow.
the very last day of shooting, we actually did a big company travel to Newport, Rhode Island, and we shot some stuff right there on the wharf and the harbor and stuff. And a little bit of a rainy day that day. That was too bad, but it's okay. Movie magic.
Yeah. That sounds like I used to live in a town called Wilmington here in North Carolina.
Sure.
It's been referred to as Hollywood East because there's been a lot of stuff filmed here in the years over the years and whatnot. And when you're talking about like the older homes, we have like a historic district that has all of these older homes, and a lot of celebrities have actually owned homes down there or out on Figure Eight Island. But like Linda
Okay.
Lavin from the show Alice,
Okay.
she had a house in downtown Wilmington for a long time. So when you describe that vibe, that makes me think of Wilmington and the riverfront and that look. So Hallmark has filmed a couple of things there. I'd like to see them film something else in Wilmington, maybe again. That would
Yeah.
be great. But I'm not going to keep you much longer, but I do want to do a few rapid fire type questions
Okay.
for
Let's
you.
go.
Okay, so first, apple pie or pumpkin?
Blah, pumpkin.
Ah,
Well,
Halloween
I
movies.
well,
Halloween. Well, that's okay because I have another book called Love at the Salted Caramel Cafe, so I'm open to like all of the things
you know
fall.
what? I gotta stay on the honest train. It's got because I don't know. Pumpkin is nostalgic. I like apple just fine, but apple's kind of I don't know. Is it summer or fall? Which is it?
I know it can go both. Yeah.
You go both ways. Pumpkin is so specific, and when you have pumpkin pie, it's like you know what time of the year it is. Bam! I gotta stick with pumpkin.
I actually like apple macchiatos that have come out of Starbucks, but I prefer pumpkin pie myself. So yeah, I'm kind of like that.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the pumpkin.
But it just didn't make sense to say Pumpkin Hill. And plus, my friend and I were both writing books at the same time. And her book was made into a movie, Pumpkin Everything with Taylor Cole.
Taylor Cole, that's right. Yeah.
And we talked about that yesterday. And so I did Autumn at Apple Hill. So she was pumpkin and I was apple.
If it makes you feel better, I did talk about the pumpkin patch we have, but I do have a few apple trees out as well. So
Good, good. You're representing. I like it. I like
representing
it. Halloween movies, dark and creepy or comical?
dark and creepy.
Yeah. I remember you saying you were a Fear Fest fan
Dark
last year.
and creepy.
Dark
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah. No,
AMC and stuff like
it
that.
is August 14th and it is spooky season in my book.
Spooky season is already here.
It's
Yeah.
already here. Sorry.
October is here.
October. There you
Yeah.
go.
That's something I recently discovered is the new word, October.
Yeah. That and Summerween. My daughter just heard of
Summerween. Yeah.
Summerween.
Summerween.
Yep.
Your favorite genre of music to listen to?
It's I don't know what genre this is, but it's got to be the Great American Songbook. You know, the old classic jazz. I mean, I like it all. I love country, rock. I love all that. But if you're asking like my go-to, it's gonna be the Sinatra, the Dean Martins, the New Orleans style jazz, that whole Great American Songbook style. That's my jam.
Yeah, I like a mix of a lot of things. I don't listen to, I have a Sirius XM or whatever. So I
Yeah.
don't listen to much like new stuff. I listen to more like 80s and 90s and things like that. But I also have like this Seriously Sinatra station or whatever. I love Frank Sinatra. It's in my mom. I was like in 30 years old and liking Frank Sinatra. And my mom's like, okay, but we
You
just
know
listen
what?
to, I'm like, it's just
We,
relaxing.
Me with my daughter my age, it's so funny to see all the stuff that is that comes back. And
Yes.
so I actually asked her the other day, I was like, how many kids do you know that actually play instruments? And broke my heart. She said she didn't know any. And I'm like, that's something that's got to come back. You know,
Yeah.
one of the reasons, sorry, I'm segueing, but one of the reasons I did a vinyl is because of Taylor Swift. And I'll explain that in 30 seconds. But is kind of like you said, you wanted that DVD to hold on to.
Yeah.
Not I didn't do any of this for monetary reasons. If you can make money off of it, great. If not, but doing an album can be very expensive if you're not going to recoup anything. And it's so hard to do that unless you're touring or there, we don't have DVD sales anymore. But when Taylor Swift started selling records, record players went up. All these companies started making these blue. I'm not saying they did that because of her, but they both kind of seem like they happened
They
together.
probably did do it because of
And
her.
well, maybe they did. I don't know that for a fact, but maybe they probably did. And so all of a sudden, she started selling records, and now, the kids are spinning vinyls now. And I'm like, and that was always my jam. I'm like, oh my gosh, if I had a vinyl like a Sinatra, like a Martin. Like I love spinning old time, like Johnny Mathis Christmas records. I'm like, I want a Christmas record. And so that's
Yeah,
one
of
of the reasons
course.
I got to do it. Is so now that I can actually have something tangible in my hand to say, man, I did this. Here you go. Hopefully you'll make me a part of your holidays too. So I was like,
Yeah.
that was one of the things that I thought was so cool
Physical
and
media,
special.
yeah.
And one of the other reasons that music, like it is timeless.
Hmm.
To go back to Jenna Claire's song and it's called Timeless Christmas. It has that sound to it. And I was like, I don't think that'll ever go out of style. So I do think that you said, your age and liking Frank Sinatra. I'm like, this stuff does not ever
No.
go out of style. And if a kid doesn't like it, it's just a matter of time until he or she does.
Yes, that's
It's
right.
gonna
Maybe
happen.
not yet, but you will.
I've never met someone who's like, ew, Sinatra, gross.
I know.
No,
I know. I know.
no.
Yeah,
They play
exactly.
him
And
at
that,
Yankees games. He's all over New York City. I was like, no, that's never going away.
yeah, that's just like, with books. Some people are like, well, why do you even make large print copies available? Because people just, they can read the larger print on, like Kindle or whatever. And I'm like, because there's still a lot of people who need the larger print who want the physical media. They want to hold the book in their hands. They like the feel of it. So I make that option available. I mean, I'm all about the options for physical media. It's just important to me. And I love seeing, all of that out there and just like owning the DVD. I'm like, I still have a DVD player. It's not hooked up right now, but if for some reason Hallmark just like does away with Autumn and Apple Hill, I still have it. You just want to make sure that you have that.
I said that too about Spotify, is that like you don't own any music anymore.
Yeah.
You're leasing. The second you cancel your Spotify subscription, or the second you don't have it on your phone anymore, you don't have anything to listen to.
Yeah.
So my album would be gone, and you don't have it unless you have the record.
That's
So
right.
hopefully that and books never go away.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, if okay, this one might be an interesting. If you were to play in a biopic about a great actor who's no longer with us, who would you want to play?
Oh,
I give everybody different questions, and
Cary Grant.
Cary, that's awesome. That's a great one. Cary Grant.
Cary Grant. It's got just an amazing story behind him, a wonderful career, a very interesting personal life, especially for back in the day. I think his biopic would be super, super interesting. I did just read, not just, that was months ago, JFK Jr. Um, did not swing my way, but someone like that would be an interesting one too.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is one of those ones where we're gonna hang up later, and I'm like, oh wait, I should have said X, Y, and Z because I got a Rolodex going right now. But
I
I'll go with
think
those.
Cary Grant is an amazing answer. I
I
mean,
think
I'm
Cary
sure
Grant
that if
for
he were around today, there would be Granties,
100%. I would be one. I am one.
Bogarties, and everything.
Bogarties.
Yeah. Okay, so date night when you guys go out, casual or fancy?
Well, wait. What do I prefer, or what is it going to be?
Both.
It's going to be casual. I love fancy. And I don't mean like I think there's a fine line between bougie and pretentious and fancy.
Yes.
Fancy to me it's fun. I actually love to dress up. Not that I would ever wear a tuxedo to go out to dinner, but it's like dressing up in a suit or dressing something nice to go out to a really nice dinner, something that's kind of occasional. That to me I find super fun.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen that often. So it's probably gonna be more casual.
Love it. Beer or whiskey?
Whiskey.
Whiskey.
I'm not a beer
And
guy anymore. It's like drinking bread to me now.
and the last one, city life or country life?
I am so blessed right now to have the utmost mixture of both. I don't live far from New York City at all, and I live on some land, but I'm less than an hour from the city. So man, I'm just really lucky that I couldn't imagine life without both.
Yeah.
I get to leave my little property where I am, and then in 1 hour I could be sitting at a Broadway show, and it's that to me is the best of both worlds. I would hate to have to pick one over
Yeah.
the other because I love both so much.
I
I
saw
really do.
last week, I think you had a story up where you were looking at deer in your yard or something in the morning. And by that evening, you were in Manhattan. So I was like, look, you can do that's amazing that you can be so close to have both worlds together.
Very, 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 very blessed. I do. I am lucky enough to we do both,
Yeah.
and it's so cool. I love it. So
Love it.
I do have to cheat and say both.
Love it. I like both too. Thanks so much, Wes, for coming on today and taking the time to chat with me. I really appreciate it. And you've given us such wonderful insight into your world and your work with
Anytime.
Hallmark
And thank you for
and all
writing
the things.
a great book, and that we got to bring to life. I hope we can do it again and again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Of course. Have a wonderful day, Angie.
You
Appreciate it.
too.
All
Bye.
right.